According to Indian economy, the Kautilya, whose second name is the Chanakya, is known as the guru of the economics. But unfortunately, Indian culture information is not being documented in the historical way. So Adam Smith is getting the credit for the same. So we have to give the credit to Adam Smith only whenever it's a literature study is going on. He is known as the father of the modern economics. Because when we say the old economics, it was basically coming to the level of the king level, where the king tried to be say the Yaj Bhojan Sana, Yaj Dharma Sana, Yaj Guru, Yaj Vai. Those are the parameters they are going to look into. Modern economics does not look into it. Modern economics tries to be looked from different perspective. So he wrote the first important book, that is the nature and causes of the wealth of the nation. Smith he is believing in the free market. Free market means there is no government intervention. Public at large, as a buyer and seller, can decide the working is to be done, or the market price to be decided, supply to be available, demand to happen. Free market where consumer may buy what they like and producer may produce what they like with no government interference. So with no government interference is considered as a one of the very important parameters, that there is no government interference. Smith suggested a nature fee. It means that do not interfere approach. Nature fee is basically the commercial words being highly used in the economics and commercial management, where we say that people are coming with a nature fee level, leaving the customer and to producer to make their own business activity. So managerial economics is based on the microeconomics. There is a two type of the economics, microeconomics and macroeconomics. Microeconomics looks towards the individual behavior as a human being, as a firm, or in your case it is going to be according to the hospital. It is going to be done as an individual behavior. Macroeconomics is going to be the state level economy, central government level economy, where the group of the society members are being taken into consideration. So I'll give the simple example. Whenever the market price of the shares are going to be increase or decrease, the micro effect is coming towards the vehicle users. Like as an individual vehicle users, we may be using the same vehicle also. Macro effect is going to be happen inflation. As you know that the prices of the petrol are being increasing, diesel are being increasing, so the prices of the vegetable and fruits are spiral way go on increasing. Spiral way it is go on increasing. And when inflation goes beyond some level, there is unemployment also being started. India is basically at this moment the position where the unemployment is rising as well as the inflation is also being rising. Microeconomics basically the study of economic problems are being happening in the two ways. Number one, what goods and services an economy should produce. Should the emphasis be given on agriculture, manufacturing, or services? India is basically known as the agriculturalist country. But now then India have been moved towards the manufacturing from the 1960s, 70 onwards. And after the 21st century start, they move on the services. Now, should it be on sports? Now, whether the production should be done on the sports related product or nature items or the housing. How should goods and services are to be produced? Now, in India, we are trying to say that we should move ahead with our neighbor intensive activities because population is more. But taking into consideration the cost involvement, time involvement, we move towards the capital intensive. It means that we are using the machinery for mixing of the crockery item and soap. Previously, it was done manually, very long ago, before 40 years ago or so. So that is going to be the question, and then people are going to be look towards that whether it is land intensive or not. It means whether agriculture production is to be done or not. Now, when we try to be look towards the land intensive level, the Japan have gone with a vertical plantation. That is the one of the very important thing they come. Every floor of the building, plantations have been done in a separate way. Resulted into the atmosphere is coming under control. Number one. Number two, there is a Guinness having available. Now there we have to look in India the input output ratio. In India, we are having a government departments also are inefficient and ineffective also both way. Sometimes now who should get the goods and services produced? Even distribution, more of the each for those who work hard. Means whether the goods is to be produced for the another group of people or it is to be produced for each or poor and society to benefits. Then we come down to the very important parameters of the scarcity. As I mentioned it already, the scarcity is the most economic, it is the excess of work, reason from having limited resources. Everyone cannot become entrepreneur. Now we can say that the Gujaratis are entrepreneurs. But when we try to be looked towards the South Indian, just common statement, not applicable to all South Indians. South Indians can become a good CEO, but he can never become a good owner of the company because their attitude is to work as a part of labor, work under someone. Maybe they're getting a full hand, but they don't like to be capitalists. While Gujaratis are having a different perceptions. So satisfying the endless want of people. The very important verse we are coming here is the endless want they have it. So that's basically make the effect for them. So it is a universal problem of society. It is not limited to poor countries. US same problem. On developed countries, countries are three types. Developed countries, developing countries, underdeveloped countries. European countries like Germany, Brazil, American countries are known as the developed countries because they are already developed. India is a developing country because India has still not achieved the level to satisfy the all wants. Pakistan is an underdeveloped country. We can take that particular way. So, to the economics on goods and services that have a price are relatively very scarce. So, but this means that they are scarce relative to people demand for them. Now we come down to that when we try to look toward the production, which is important. Maybe agricultural production or manufacturing production. We require to understand the factor of production. Factor of productions are coming to like a net, which is the nature resources available for the production. So we can say it is basically the gift of God. God has given the gift to us. And this gift of God is going to be limited to the extent you cannot increase or decrease it. This is the one of the neighbor, which is physical and mental effect. In India, we are saying the neighbor is a physical, and mental effect means officers or the administrators. We try to say. But when the Adam Smith tried to say, then Adam Smith have tried to tone that the neighbor is going to be the mental and physical effort. Both are going to be done into that. Third is coming to the capital. The capital is going to be happen to the extent that it supports them to the all non-nature things to be produced by them on non-nature. So manufacturing resources that are used in the creation and production of product. That is the capital. It means that machinery is used in the businesses. You are using the medical equipment in the hospital are also considered as a manufacturing resource. So it is known as capital because money have been invested by us to bring those items into our business. Like you know that in our modern approach, we came to the transaction number 12, where we say that there is an laboratory equipment have been purchased. So that is the capital formation have been done. Entrepreneurship, that is the person who refer to management, organization, and planning of all these resources. So basically, we can say that they are going to become the risk taker. They are taking the risk of the business. So they are considered as a risk taker, and as a risk taker, they try to make sure that they achieve the profit or the proper level of employment, employees are being appointed, and works having taken care. So they are considered as a risk taker. Now I come to the payment is made to the factor of production. I say land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurs. So now we comes to that. Factor of production, land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur. Land, well, what the return or reward or the remuneration in your simple terms, or only received by the landowner is going to give it to the farmer or someone, any on the hand on that. When the person is having his own bungalow, then land is his own. Now he is not paying the hand. So there is a opportunity cost. That is a benefit foregone is available in the form of the rent. So rent is considered as the return payment made to the neighbor. Neighbor is getting the wages. In India, we are saying wages and salaries. Wages for workers, salaries for office staff. Capital. Whatever capital we have the interest income happen or we forgo the interest income. Like when the Dr. Shanti and Yapisa purchased the laboratory equipment, so that money they are not putting into the banking system, result into they are losing the interest. So opportunity cost is considered as the interest or sometimes borrowing is done and we pay the interest for the same. Fourth is coming to the profit. Entrepreneur take the risk, the word risk taker. So as they take the risk, they are expecting more than the semi income they get. If the person is expecting the semi income is 20,000 rupees, but if his continuous profit is less than 20,000, then he may look towards shifting from own enterprise to the semi-employment. This is what conceptually we say. So that become income. I think it's clear to you. So factor of productions are getting the income by four particularly. Any question on this? Hello. In terms of donor also. So this is where managerial economics can help the manager as it is an amalgamation. Amalgamation means mixing. Amalgamation of economic theory with business perspective. That is very important. But let me understand, economic theory is not limited to the educated people. I normally used to say, and I personally believe, uneducated people have also good economical knowledge. Unknowingly, unknowingly they have the good economical knowledge. They are not knowing that it is economics, but they know its application. This is one of the very important thing for the, what we can say, the vegetable hawkers is also, she is also knowing the economics very well, business practice and the decision making, that at what time the prices of the product are to be reduced, and future planning of management. They will know that now 7 months will come, so potato demand may be high. So they manage the more potatoes to sell. This is a good word. His name is given only by Adam Smith. Okay? Manager, but nothing is manager. Everyone is manager. So managerial economics assists the manager of a firm in a rational forecasting. Rational means logical, understandable way. Demand and supply, and solving the obstacle for the same. And they try to solve the obstacle for the same. Now we come down to the further way that there is a graph have been shown which moves, which indicates that use of economic theory and concept and formulating logical managerial decisions. They formulate the logical managerial decision, like a grocery shopkeeper and everyone decide based on that. So managerial economics is a science dealing with effective use. See, I'm not saying efficient, effective use. The vegetable Neddy is also knowing, vegetable Senna is also knowing that tomatoes are left out. Now next day morning, she will not get the money because it is going to be non-durable product. So at late evening, at whatever the price is available, she is willing to send it. So she is trying to reduce the losses for her. So that is effective use. Then the managerial use is also being looking towards guides the managers in taking decision regarding the firm's customers. Like we know that doctor also wants to understand that patient is having a good mediclaim premium, mediclaim policy. According to that, the price is having done. Treatment is treatment is extended. So it's an economic supply. Competitors and supplier, as well as relating to the internal functioning of a firm. So they inform the nurses and so don't worry, just take the round, go on giving the glucose injection like something, so that patient feel happy. Okay. So managing economics is the amalgamation of economics with business practices so as to ease the decision making. So you are easily taking the decision making and future planning of the management can be done by you. So it assists the manager in instant solution, which I have already talked. So the purpose of the managerial economics is useful wherever there are scarce resources. But you know, across the globe, there are the scarce resources, including Mukesh Ambani have it. He cannot do whatever he thinks. He has somewhere the limitation is coming. And it has to ensure the manager effective and efficient decision making concerning customer, supplier, competitor, or within an organization. So three fundamental questions are coming. I shown the three monkeys of the Gandhiji. In other words, what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. So what to produce? What item to be produced as a farmer or as a manufacturer, how to produce, whether we should go to the labor intensive activities or machine oriented activities. For whom to produce, that is the consumer end. Expect the consumer. If you are going to be have the consumer are from the premium sector, then they will produce in such a way that costs become high. But if they are producing the same thing for the below poverty line, then the cost may be lower. Their production process, how to produce, take the care of the raw material also, input, input processing, packing and everything. So these three important purpose. Number one, what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce. So customer should be in your mind. Our doctors have always the customer in their mind. By customers pocket level and family level, they decide the price. So uses of managing economics, I have taken the person with a umbrella outside of his on his head. So managerial economics is not limited to economics, to profit making firm, but it also be used in non-profit organization. Nigani, I have to mention, the hospital is a non-profit organization. Nigani. Education institutions are also to be shown as a non-profit organization. But practical thing we know it. It enables the optimum utilization. Optimum utilization means best effective level utilization. Optimum does not mean maximum. Optimum means best possible level. So it means that the using the labor time by considering the exploitation is not advisable. Exploiting the human resources is not advisable. To hasten achieving the goal in efficient manner. Managerial economics is great hand in price analysis, production analysis, means in case of healthcare sector, how the patient are to be treated, that is the procedure involved in the treatment and everything. That is known as production in our language. Capital budgeting, that how much machinery is to be done. Risk analysis, that what is the chances of the patient to survive. And determination of the demand, that how much demand have been used by him. So managing economics is also looks towards the environmental analysis, very important. Now I am very nicely drawing the design on that, where I say the shape, social, economic, political, and technological. Okay. So managing economics should carry out a thorough analysis of the environment of a business. Like they look towards the social. Like our area, people are saying, savior is equal to smasan. Okay, in Gujarati they are saying. You got the point, no? Savior is equal to smasan. Okay, so that is social impact. Okay, economical, they try to make the money from the fewer customer came. Political support is there, so he survived. And the technology, whatever the technology they can do it. So, loan of market analysis is very important for the healthcare sector. That is why number one, they are doing the brand competition. Like they are saying, our hospital is better for heart surgery in compared to others. So, heart surgery is one of the industry. Within that, there are the different type of the brands are there. That is the hospital name. Then they are coming to the product competition. Like they can say that we can do the cataract operation by laser, by something phaco technology or new technology now name they use it. That is product competition. I think you got the point very categorically. I try to bring it for your area, okay? And then there is going to be generic competition. It means that their competitions with the MBBS doctor also. Like MD doctor says that if this patient goes to MBBS who is of a age of 60, 70 years old, then treatment will be different. So that is generic competition is coming. So competition faced by companies has been classified on the degree of product substitution. To show the product substitution, I have used the pencil. Okay, pencils happen. So a competition in which a company consider own companies making the same product or class of product as its competitors are known as an industry competition. There is that is why some of the radio advertisement is coming of the spine operation or like something what they try to talk. I'm not from the medical field, so I don't recall exact words. But they are saying that this is the way we try to do it and that way. So branded drug manufacturer will consider all other generic drug manufacturer as its competitors. That is what Narendra Modi's Pradhan Mantri is saying that what you go on using the generic medicines. Now make microeconomics, where I have taken the person taking the theory from the Superman type, where the on commodities are being placed under him, placed there, and he get the goods from the manufacturer. So manufacturer provide the goods to the shops, intermediate, and from the shops, the customer buying the goods. I think you got the logic very categorically. So microeconomics is the branch of the economics that deals with the behavior and decision making by individual businesses and households. That how the individual businesses and households are working. So is the concept of supply and demand, opening and closing of business, and individual household budget. Our government have understood that individual household budgets are suffering because of GST, so that overall demand in economy is lower, employment is coming into problem, so they have reduced the GST. So household budget is increased. So demand of the goods and commodity have been increased. What we have seen in this Diwali, everyone talked about it. Now, goods are of two types. Perishable means those are having a limited shelf life and the buyer know about it. Like we can say that banana, tomato, we know that it has a very limited shelf life. Buyer know about it. So storage capacity is not only the issue, but supplier also need to consider whether they are holding the perishable goods or non-perishable goods. I already told that the vegetable shopkeeper, vegetable seller lady knows that the tomato is going to be perishable. So she's not worried about storage capacity. She may have the storage capacity, but still she would like to be sell it out. So buyer can wait for some time and producer will have to lower the prices. That is what I mentioned. Or take the losses that arise from wastage. So she tried to sell the tomato at a lower price. So she's incurring some loss. But if she do not sell it, loss will be very high. So survive or perish. Whether you would like to be survive as a businessman or you would like to be perish as a businessman, it depends on whether the goods is perishable or non-perishable. In other words, people are saying it's a durable goods or the non-durable goods. Non-durable goods means perishable and durable goods means non-perishable. This is the equivalent word is used, okay? Durable and non-durable. No of demand. Now you can see here very nicely the C waves are there in the type of prices to change. Nice price increase or decrease on a particular way. So law of demand state that there is an inverse relationship. Inverse. I think you know the meaning of that. Reverse way. So as the price of the product is increased, quantity demanded is reduced. As the price is decreased, yes. As the price is decreased, quantity demanded is increased. By assuming, that is remain constant. That is what I'm saying. By assuming that prices are not going to further increase. Like gold prices are increasing, so people may increase the demand of the gold. But subject to, this Diwali was so the demand of silver was happened more in spite of higher price. because people are expecting that in spite of prices increase, future price increase is more because silver is going to be used in the industrial manufacturing. That is the knowledge have come to the people. So, but no of demand say it is going to be remain constant. So future expectation is not so high. So demand schedule, here I take a simple example. When the price of watch was 600 rupees, demand was 0. But when the price being decreased, if you know the quantity is increased. Just understand. Price is decreased and the quantity demanded is increased here. Okay? So this is the inverse relationship have been established between the two. That how the prices and demand is going to be worked in the normal way. Then we comes to the next very important point, graphically. See, there is a one important thing. As a student of science, you know that y is equal to a plus bx. You always take the y on the left hand side and x on the right hand side of the equation. In mathematics also, mathematics and GPA, you used to do the same thing. So y is dependent. Sorry, x is equal to a plus by. I made a error in speaking. Normally you write in the equation left hand side x and right hand side y. Correct? So x is become the dependent variable and y is the independent variable. So as the prices are being decreased, the quantity demanded have been reduced. Correct? And that is going to be play the significant role. And this is the graphical way presentation have been done. So there is a one possibility that in examination I may also ask for the graphical presentation. Economics, I'm not going to give you the notes separately. I have given the notes separately in the today's PDF for the financial accounting and cost accounting. For financial management and economics, it is going to be from the presentation only. Okay. That 2 point also the presentation is important. But in the case of account and costing, in addition to presentation, I have given the PDF of the word file of the important words. Okay. So demand curve is, and this is known as demand curve. This is the curve is formed, so it is known as demand curve. Individual demand curve shows that the highest price which an individual is willing to pay for different quantities of the commodity. This is what you are also doing. I am also doing. When we are purchasing quantity in wholesale way, more quantity, then we are willing to pay the lower prices. 1 unit or 10 units. Our price expectation, our bargaining power is going to be different. So law of demand very clearly says as the price is increased, demand is reduced. As price is decreased, demand is increased. The same thing is being mentioned here, and this is known as law of demand. So it may be possible that I may ask you, write a 5 lines on the law of demand and explain it by graphical way. I think you got the point. So whenever you have to make the graphical way, table needs to be drawn. Like a price is 600 rupees of watch, quantity demanded is 0, 500 rupees, certain price is there, certain quantity demanded. The amount of money or income that people have available to spend on goods and service is called the purchasing power. What is the income available for purchase of a particular product? An increase in a consumer purchasing power caused by a change in price is called the income effect. I have given the nice example. If a person has rupees 60 to spend on CDs, but the price changes from rupees 15 to rupees 10, so their purchasing power is increased. Because previously from 60 rupees, he used to capable to buy 4 shares. Now he can buy the 6 series. So income effect says that when the price of product goes down, the people can afford to buy more of it. When the price of goes up, people can't buy as much quantity. This is one of the very important point. Then next we comes to the substitution effect. Substitute of the products are being available. When the price of a goods or service rise, people will buy less of that goods in favor of cheaper goods. So I have given here the right hand side example. Generic product typically sell for up to 40% less for roughly identical medical drug. That is what we are saying, the generic medicine and branded medicine. So what happens? When the product is cheaply available, they purchase the more quantity. In case of medicine, it may not be possible because quantity is fixed some way. But in the case of certain food grain item, some dress material, dresses, it can be happen. Textile clothes, it can be happen. So consumer have the tendency to substitute a similar lower price product for another product that is relatively more expensive. The price of stick increases, so many consumers will stick to chicken. And the lower price substitute they are going to use it. So there is a demand shift is happening for the price of related goods and consumer expectation. Very important. I have here shown the color and brush, painting, color, tin, and the box. So two types. One is substitute goods and one is complementary goods. Let us say whitewash or color, painted color is a substitute. But when the person decides the substitute goods, similar goods will replace the high price goods. Like person have decided to do the painting at home, then he may have the 2 or 3 type of the colors are available. Then based on that, he may go towards the oil painting to plastic painting like that. He can go on changing it. So that is substitute. Third is coming complementary. Now, the demand of brush, painting brushes depends on the painting to be done. Very important thing. So if there is no demand of painting, there is no demand of painting brush. This is very importantly known as complementary goods. So you understand substitute goods and complementary goods. So we have to decide that whether it is my complementary goods or substitute goods. So when a consumer expect an increase in pay, they tend to spend more, so increasing the demand. But when expecting a lower income, they spend less, and that going to be resulted into decreasing demand. At this moment in the US, the people are spending less because lockdown is going on. So they are expecting the lower income in future because 1 month is already passed for the lockdown, but still no solution has come. So this is the way seen by us as a demand shift. Next we come down to the supply schedule. Demand, we look it from customer view, consumer view. Supply, that is going to be from the producer, manufacturer, traders, and service supplier. A supply schedule shows the relationship between price of a good and quantity producers are willing to supply. Like we know that whenever there is a heavy rainfall is coming, majority of the MBBS doctors are not willing to close their clinic because they are knowing that more and more patients may come. So in that case, their price may also be increased in some cases, or they serve the more patient. So supply schedule shows the relationship between price of goods and the quantity willing to supply. The supply schedule lists each quantity of a product that producers are willing to supply. So it's a snapshot. Snapshot means a particular point of time, a specific time period. The supply schedule is done. Now I am coming to the supply curve and supply table. In examination, if you have to answer like this way, I think I already explained you. A supply curve knows the information from a supply schedule. This is in our words known as the supply schedule. Table. Table is known as the supply schedule. And graph, you know. Graph, there is no need to talk about it. This allows us to easily and quickly make the decision. Normal supply curve. Normal. Practically, it is going to be abnormal. But here it says normal supply curve. Reflect a steady relationship between quantity and price. Like the graph on the right side. Like this is the right way graph is going on. So this is known as the supply schedule. So it shows the inverse relationship. As the price is increased, quantity supply is more. As the price is decreased, quantity supply is lower. So there is a positive relationship. We can say there is a positive, I think you got the point. In demand, it is a negative relationship. Here it is a positive relationship. So supply is the quantity of goods and services that producers are willing to supply at various price level. So law of supply is the direct relationship between price and quantity. Producer will offer more of a product at higher prices, less of a product at lower prices. This is what I mentioned. No price, no quantity, high price, high quantity. You know this is the convex. That is the geo value. Okay? This is always a geo value happen for us. This is the value is geo and it shows. So they will supply fewer goods when they must send them at a lower price. Now the same thing have been depicted here. Price increase, so supply is increase. Price decrease, so supply is decrease. Profit. Entrepreneur requires a profit. Economics is always from the view of the entrepreneur who is supposed to bring the profit. This amount of money remaining after the producer have paid on their cost is known as the profit. Is known as the profit. Businesses make money when revenue are greater than the cost of production. So you can say when revenue is greater than cost, it is known as profit. Business take risk and make decision based on profit. They rely on supply schedule and supply curve to make the decision. Three monkey of Gandhiji is coming here. What, how, and for whom to produce. You know, this is the way Gandhiji have supported us much. Good. Now, what is the profit versus revenue? You know, non-commerce students are confusing themselves. Revenue means the money that comes in from selling of goods and services. So that is the quantity supplied multiplied by price is equal to revenue. Profit is equal to revenue on the money made after cost. Means revenue minus cost of production. CP stands for cost of production. The goal of capitalist to maximize the profit. Business do this. Quantity, not quantity. Quantity multiplied by price per quantity. And CP, CP means cost price or cost of production. What is the cost incurred totally? So revenue minus total cost is equal to profit. Now we know that the Ahmedabadis wanted to make the profit. If we take the example of the tea store available nearby, size of the cup is reducing day by day because they want to maintain them. So what they do? They reduce the quantity, but charging from you for per cup. I think you got the point. So what they are doing? One alternative, increase the price of the product. If they increase the price of the product, public may not buy it. We have the example is available of the Banaji wafer also for the same. The same packet quantity is reduced day by day. Number two, they use the cheaper supplies. Means the raw material quantity is of poor quality. Number three, reducing amount in packaged products. You know, the 5 rupees packet, 10 rupees packet have come into existence because of this. Because they understand that the price of the product is high. If they talk about a 40 rupees, no one will buy it. But if it is offered in 5 or 10 rupees, more possibility of the customer to buy it. That is the objective. Quantity is less. Yes, quantity is less. Next. So this is what I mentioned. The profit can be increased. Now there is going to be the important point is coming. Elasticity of demand and supply. You know, elastic, rubber band. I think I'm giving the example by rubber band. Rubber band can be increased or decreased by putting the pressure on that. Okay, by pulling or pushing. Okay. So degree. So there is going to be certain degree. Degree to which price changes affect the quantity supply. Means what is the degree? Price is changing. Like a 10% increase in price. How much quantity supply is reduced? That is known as elasticity of demand. Elastic. A small change in price cause a major change in quantity. This is going to be the very important thing. That it comes to the inelastic way. When a change in price do not affect the quantity supply. The certain product, like a person is habituated to smoking. I'm taking bad example, but sometimes bad example is also required to understand. Person is a chain smoker. So whatever the supplier is increasing the price of a particular type of cigarette, customer is going to buy it because they are habituated. So it is inelastic demand. But when it is going to be related to some premium product, which is part of the wants, like a smartphone or so, where the price increase, then quantity supply will be lower because fewer people will buy it. Correct? It is inelastic supply. Inelastic means changes happen. Inelastic means it is not rubber band. It is an iron piece. Inelastic means iron piece. Elastic means it remains the same. Elastic means it is rubber band. So big idea is happen. A small increase in the cost of production may result in a cutback in quantity supplied. That is why Indian manufacturers are worried about the tariff introduced by the Trump because they know that if there is a small increase in product cost may affect the quantity demanded. I think you got the point. Next, I am coming to the timings. Timings are going to be two types. One is known as static model and one is known as a dynamic model. When the patient is already expired but put up into the ICU is a static model. Okay? Dynamic model means patient is not expired, patient is survived and the sequence of action is taken. That is dynamic model. Static is going to be single point in a time. It is going to be fixed. Dynamic model is going to be changed every point of time. This is the way it happens. So there is going to be the market. Market is going to be, what is the meaning of market? Market means buyers and sellers communicate with one another for voluntary exchange. As a customer, you are paying UP and trader is giving the goods to you. The place where buyer and seller going to meet, they will communicate with each other and make the voluntary exchange of money and goods, that is known as market. But in today's level, market need not be physical because because e-market is also going to be in the existence. Where marketplace is not there, we are just going on the Amazon and we give the order and we get the product at our end. So that is online shopping is possible. Industry, business engage in production or delivery of the same thing. So we can say Amazon is a one part of the industry. For us, from the market view, Amazon is a visual, is a e-market. But when we say as an industry, then Amazon is an industry of distribution. Industry of distribution of goods and commodities. Okay? This is the way it is to be seen. There are going to be the classified post is coming in the market where they say that the edition is available, certain merchandise is available, or some purchasing items are being available. Market is of two types. Competitive market, where the competition is very high. When we go to the city area in Ahmedabad for the purchase of textile commodity, then there is a competitive market is there. All businessmen in the same lane and everyone try to bring the customer to their end. So it's an extremely competitive market. Many buyers, many sellers. You know the Ratanpur area of Ahmedabad is coming under the same way. Many buyers, many sellers. No room for managerial strategizing. Managerial strategy cannot be used by them. But they want to achieve the economic efficiency. It means that they would like to earn the certain amount of profit continuously. So competitive market, there is going to be demand. We have said inverse relationship between price and demand, positive relationship between price and supply, and market equilibrium. It means it is the price level at which quantity demand is equal to supply. So at this quantity, the and this price, the market equilibrium will happen. Where demand and supply, I think you got this graphical understanding very well. This is demand curve. What we see. This is supply curve. So where the demand and supply cut to each other, that price level is known as the competitive market price, and this is known as the competitive market quantity. I think you got the point clearly, market equilibrium. Okay. Now, market power. ability of a buyer and seller, to influence the market condition, whether there is a buyer side the content parameters or the seller. When we try to be look towards the Diwali time, in the city area, sellers were under the influencing level. But Norman time, buyer is at the influencing level because the number of customer coming are nation in compared to Diwali time. Seller with market power must manage cost, pricing, because few customers entering and more customers are there. Sorry, more shopkeepers are there. So they look towards cost, pricing, advertising, like buy one, get one free, or they give you some discount voucher or coupon like that for next time purchase. Some of the product like electronic, it is research and development is made, so the miniaturization of the product is happen, and they look towards the strategy of the competitors. This is the I am just giving the example of the some ineffectiveness where 2-3 alternatives are being available and person can decide. Second is imperfect market, very important. One party convey benefit or cost to others. Here the example is torrent power. Torrent power who supplies the electricity at your and my place. That torrent power is in the imperfect competition because there is no competitor is available. But in the case of cell phone service provider, they are in the competitive market. I think you got the point clearly. Competitive market and imperfect market. Imperfect market means you can say somewhere the monopoly also. You may be reading the words in newspaper monopoly. Okay? That monopoly product, it means that there is a one supplier of the product in the market who supply the commodity to you. So torrent power has a better information than others. You know, torrent power, we are using the electricity, we are not knowing what is the cost of electricity we are going to pay. Because the moment bill comes, it is coming to our knowledge. This is very important. Next, we are being coming to the government interventions. Why the government interventions, interference is required? Direct control, government make, that is part of the one way budget. I am coming to Indian government budget. Before I come to budget, I am taking one discussion, small discussion on type of government intervention. Then I will come to globalization and budget, and then over. Types of government intervention, direct control. Government is directly controlling defense, police, roads, and those parameters. They are also having a price control. I think you are knowing that. In your healthcare sector, everywhere the price control have been established for the drug price and everything. Beyond some price, it cannot be happened. Government provides subsidies to the ethanol to use it in place of petrol. Like 10% they are planning to add in the mix in the petrol. Hybrid car, they are giving the subsidies. Electrical vehicle and so. Crops also they are doing it. wind and solar energy. When we establish the solar power plant at a home roof, you get some benefit and higher education. Taxes. Government takes tariffs on import. This is a very famous word of our Mr. Trump. We are exporting from India, but US is importing. So he is saying it is tariff. Very important. Tariff word is used on imports. Excise tax on cigarette and gases. Income, property tax. Whenever you send the property, you have to pay some charges to the government department. So there the regulations are coming. Those are known as anti-trust, where people may not have the trust among each other. And then government regulation is coming into picture. So there is a rules are being established that companies have to publish their annual balance sheet and to give it to the shareholder. Laws are designed to encourage the competition. So more and more people can come into competition and environmental issues are to be taken care. Pollution control. Now the question is coming, globalization. You must be reading this word, globalization. It is the growth of cross-border trade and investment. Cross-border means outside India with rest of the world. Whatever the trading business we are doing, whatever investment we are doing. So here I have shown the euro, then US dollar coin, Indian coin, and everything have been made. So it indicates that there is going to be the falling of the trade barriers. Movement of the goods and commodities and services is easy between the two, between the India and rest of world. Falling of financial barriers means foreign institutions, foreign companies come into India and they can invest it. And falling the communication cost. Communication will be happen at a lower end, at a higher end. For your information only, in the globalization, for making the trade, WTO, you must be reading this one number of time in the newspaper or hearing in the news also. WTO, that is World Trade Organization, which is basically regulating the globalization activities. And regional level also, there is a different regional level is happen. Like a European Union, they have resulted into Euro currency. Euro currency is coming to existence because of this. NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement, Asian countries, Asian China and Asian India, where India is dominating and few other Asian countries are part of that. Same way, one place, Asian China is there, whether China is the main dominating organization and other countries are the part of that. So globalization is coming in the two way for communications, very categorically. Number one, transport, air transport and containerization. Container, it means the goods are being kept in container. Big size of containers are there and those are being shipped from India to Indian port to other port, like that. Telecommunication, Government of India have made a deregulations at this moment and scan economy in bandwidth. Airtel and Jio, everyone is getting the bandwidth. So globalization is increasing the weight. So there is going to be record keeping is to be done. Then there is going to be transcription, means writing of the detail, and teleradiology. You know, these words I use it specifically for medical. You know, in your healthcare sector, people are nowadays coming to the teleradiology, where the one particular X-ray or report have been sent by Ahmedabad doctor to other doctors, in Chennai also, who is specialist and who will support for the diagnosis of the same. Now outgoing call center, that is telemarketing, and incoming call center, that is customer service. So increasing bandwidth support for the same. Then we came to the e-commerce. Now only three slides are left, okay? Don't wait. We are in time. Don't wait. Globalization, e-commerce, extend geographical reach. You know the Google Pay, eBay, Yahoo Pay, Amazon. Limitations, certain payment system fraud to happen, certain type of payment can be made, certain type cannot be. Trade barriers, nowadays is happening. If we try to order some books from US on the Amazon, delivery is not possible. They say that the delivery take 2 months time. So you don't place the order. Because you know that once you make the payment and if not received, what to do? Then shipment costs is coming into picture. Budget. Our great government of India, own government, are preparing the budgets. This is the one of the very important thing. Budget is being presented by finance minister. Yes. Nirmala Sitharaman case. Yes. So fiscal policy is the use of federal. Federal means government. Federal stands for government. Government budget is the government budget to sustain economic growth. Economic growth. You must be reading the words. GDP. GDP stands for gross development production, not FP. When we say the P production means it includes product and service both. And smooth the business cycle. So the recession does not come into picture and the business continue on a regular way. Federal budget is an annual statement of the expenditure of the government. In India, it is being presented on 1st February of every year. I think it is 11. Government of India is declaring the budget. And that budget is considered as the plan of future. So we can say 1st February is going to be worked in the very systematic way. Budget and fiscal policy. This is you should know because every time you hear in budget that government budget deficit is something. So what is the meaning of that? The government surplus or deficit is equal to tax receipt minus expenditure. Whatever government is getting the tax, in, tax income, against that they are making the expenses. So that is known as budget surplus or deficit. Like income tax revenue is coming, considering the only income tax department. Whatever income tax revenue they get it, and whatever the cost occurred for maintaining the income tax department is the expenditure. So you can find out the income tax surplus or deficit also. Same way GST surplus and deficit. What is the cost incurred to manage the particular department? So government has a budget surplus if tax receipt exceeds the expenditure. In my whole life, I have never seen Indian budget with a surplus, okay? And I am not expecting that in my survival time I will see, okay? It is impossible. The government, the government have always the budget deficit. Expenditure is more, receipt is lower because some adjustment is done also. Government has a balanced budget, which is very, very impossible. Where both are same, 100% equality, which is nothing possible. So with this, I have tried to be saying that budget and fiscal policy, government borrows to finance a budget deficit and repay its debt when it has a budget surplus. But you know, our government of Gujarat, every person born in Gujarat, every baby boy or baby girl born in Gujarat, as per last year report, they are born with 60,000 rupee debt on their head. Okay, this is what the fact of India. Because because state government is borrowing the money from central government. Now you know that the Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation also have sometimes came with a bond. And that bond issue of last year or earlier to last year was totally flop. Okay? Public have not paid for it. Because they know that how the Ahmedabad municipality is. Okay? So, but theoretically it is assumed here that government borrow to finance a debt, budget deficit, and repay its debt when they have budget surplus, which India or Gujarat never have it. So it is accumulating. The amount of outstanding debt that arises from past budget is called national debt. Nation have the very good amount of debt that is to be paid to the other government, to the Reserve Bank of India, to the public at large, to the World Bank, Indian monetary funds, or other countries. So this is what the proper understanding of the budget. Reserve Bank of India have the only role to control the money supply. That is the interest rate management. And deciding the printing of the notebook, notes and so. For your information, notes above rupees 1, paper currency above rupees 1 is printed by Reserve Bank of India, while the UP1 paper currency and all denomination of coins are managed by central government of India. They are not in the control of Reserve Bank of India. Reserve Bank of India decide the interest rate. That is one of the main points. With this, I have completed our managerial economics course, where in brief I can say that we have covered up the very important parameters at the first level, that is basic understanding of the commercial terms, financial accounting, and what is debit and credit. But then we went towards the modern approach of accounting, and then instead of taking you to the very nitty-gritty of the accounting principles, I explained in brief on concept and principle, and then we try to prepare the income statement and balance sheet from the same. That is our session number 4. We completed. And today I have sent you the PDF of that reconciliation also. Okay. Submit transaction of 4 number submit transactions are given as a separate PDF. Then we came to the point of the financial management, that how the financial management have been done. What is the profit maximization objective, range maximization objective, liquidity management, and the definition of the financial management and sources of finance we have taken in brief. Later on, we have tried to be discuss about the cost accounting procedure, costing system, where I say that what is direct cost, what is indirect cost, what is opportunity cost, and those. And also I have given you the format, which is also already shared with you in the PDF today, where the cost sheet format is going to be important, that we are preparing the cost sheet for every location wise, department wise, like that. And finally, we come across to the decision that what is going to be the cost per patient bed or something like that. I have not taken in the more detail of that. And today we try to be discuss about the managerial economics, where I say that how economics is managerially applicable, which is everywhere same way applicable. And then we have tried to be understand microeconomics, macroeconomics, what is the demand and supply, which is very important for the decision making, that which place the hospitals are to be established, like something you have to decide on that. Then I say that what way the government budgets are made on, and government budgets are supporting the activities. That is government intervention in the policy making. These are the parts that I am going to be undertake the examination as per the guidelines I will receive from the university, and it will be scheduled. Okay. Now there is an insurance claim or something. What documentations are required? One another faculty is going to be talking with you about or explaining the parameters or the documentations required. Okay. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much for your continuous support in the 10 hours time. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. You can text me because you have my WhatsApp number. You can WhatsApp me. You can WhatsApp me your query and then wait for nearly 18 to 24 hours to get the response. Okay. Because I may be working on some another point, so then I cannot answer it. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good night.